come back here. And now I'm going to start recording. All right. Hello. Hey, everyone. I want to say, first of all, right off the bat, the first thing I want to do is say thank you to Patty. Oh, boy. I might end up coming back to Patty in a little bit. Charlie. All the way from South Africa. It's Monday morning for you. It's Sunday night for us. Welcome to another installment of Get A Klu in 52. Let me also say thank you to Vipo, my man. Oh my God, my man. And then Siraj, you have not opened your video yet. You don't have to until you feel comfortable. This is another installment of Get A Klu in 52. Get A Klu in 52. We are in our second edition of this book. In 2019, I wrote the book. In 2020, I promoted it 52 consecutive weeks. And now, second edition, 2021, having fun, 2021. We're 39 weeks into it. We have 13 left. Oh my God. Let me just stop right there. Have you gotten everything you wanted to get done this year? Anything else you want to get done this year? Does me saying 39 get you nervous about 52? You got 13 weeks to get your shit done. All right, I'm done. All right. Get A Klu in 52 is not about saying shit. It's about being diplomatic and respectful of everybody's journey. Listen, I'm in a special mood tonight. You guys, if you know me, you know Patty. This is the 1-year anniversary of my mother dying, and her ashes are right there. My dad's ashes are right there. My mom's ashes are right there. And so when we finish all of this, I'm going to light those candles. And I'm going to celebrate the passing of my parents because, oh my God, when you talk about integrity, and that's not what we're here to talk about tonight, when you talk about integrity, the integration of one thing with another, which is the book I'm writing now. I got a preview chapter and forget all that. My heart is heavy as it is illuminated and elevated. Like as deep as I go in sadness, I get equal or if not more so motivation to carry my parents' legacy. What legacy did they have? Stay together. Till death do us part. And a little over a week ago, I celebrated the 20th year anniversary of my wife and I's wedding, which is actually 30 years since we met and fell in love. And I knew, oh my God, tectonic shifts, volcanic eruptions. I'm only 19 years old. Let me be real about this. I'm going to be attracted to a lot of people throughout my life if I'm a 19. Can I commit to this person right now? And we fought and we fought and we fought and we did what we needed to do. And we came back together. And a big theme for tonight, regardless of what tip I'm supposed to read, is love and union and integration. Male, female, or male, or female, or trans, whatever, whatever. Love. Charlie?
Yes, Coach. Yes, Coach, I'm here.
Write it down now. You always wait to the end for the Kluby snack.
Okay, got
but
you.
I'm going to give you one now. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Love is the adhesive of integrity. Love is the adhesive for integrity.
Thank you, Coach.
Integrity is when one thing comes together with another. It's integration. But when I ask people what's integrity, they say, do what you say you're going to do, or do the same thing you do when nobody's watching, when somebody's watching. I'm here to tell you right now, Every Sunday night, I show up doing the same thing I would do when nobody's watching that I would do when somebody's watching. It's me. It's me in all my vulnerability. All of my vulnerability. My desire to lubricate and manage my pain. My whatever else. It's here. It's now. Right now. Get a Klu 52. You're here with me right now. You are supporting me right now. I can't thank you enough. Mom passed a year ago tonight. It was one of the toughest jams in my jam. And I can't be thankful enough for Vipul. Vipul, my goodness. Without you, I hear you all the time telling people, I wouldn't be right without Jeff. I wouldn't be right without Jeff. And I don't mean to diminish that. Do you understand? But I don't know if you know that I wouldn't be right without you. I can't thank you enough for being here tonight, especially tonight. Siraj, you're just coming into this jam and I'm raw. Here it is. You've seen me, you've seen me on Zoom. You've seen me at the University Club, and now you see me on Sunday night. I am really animated and really like fulfilled or motivated or propelled or any synonym by you guys showing up tonight. Thank you guys so much. Get a Klu 52. We're going to read a tip from the book, but my mind isn't on whatever tip it is. And I know what it is. It's tip number 7 in the sales section, because there's 5 sections. Motivation, accountability is what we're going to get to, but we started the year with communication. Then we went to marketing, then networking, and now we're in sales. We're somewhere in sales. And then we're going to go to accountability. And I'm wrong. I've been watching football games with friends and clients. You can, no hiding. I've been doing myself on Sunday, and I'm still here. And I was a minute or two late tonight. I apologize. Let's get into the jam of it all. Let's go. Here we go. Yeah. The sales section is on page 80, but we're in like the 7th tip tonight, which is the 39th tip overall. Why? We put 2 extra tips in marketing to make a full 52, make a full year's worth. You guys have heard that 100 times. If you've been following all 2 years. Thank you, Patty. Oh, God. See, Patty?
You're okay.
Thank you. It's going to be hard. To do this.
Want me to read the chapter?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so we're on tip number 7, which is titled KISS. Keep it simple, salesperson. What you need to understand here is that a confused mind will not buy. Confusion is one of the strongest barriers to moving forward with a purchase, investment, while it's one of the easiest concerns to avoid in the first place. If you can practice never saying anything that might confuse the buyer, then they will never be confused. A common mistake that bad salespeople make is talking oneself out of a sale by continuing to share information that has not been requested by the prospect. The bad salesperson is trying to earn the right to ask for the sale by showing you everything, going over all the bells, whistles, features, etc. They run the risk of boring or confusing you with information that may not be of interest to you. Whereas you must make your knowledge of your stuff work for you in a sales presentation. You must also avoid the curse of knowledge, which is when you have actually forgotten what it is like not to know what you know. When that happens, you might be explaining things in terms the prospect doesn't understand, but now you have taken for granted because of your expertise. Practice only sharing information that the customer has asked for and asking check-in questions such as, did that answer your question? Or does that make sense to you? Or would you like me to elaborate or explain any further? Or did you have another question I can answer? Keeping it simple and matching the knowledge pace of the prospect will definitely lead to an increase in sales. And there's a little picture there of Jeff talking about, you need the little pink spoon. Have you ever not bought the ice cream after tasting a sample from the Baskin Robbins little pink spoon? And that is kiss number 7.
7 in the sales section, number 39 overall.
Yes.
And Patty, let me take my hat off to you.
Why,
Hats
thank
off.
you.
My hat is off to you because we did 52 in a row in 2020 and now 39. I'm a communication guy. Can anybody help me with 52 plus 39?
91, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
91 's
91,
good.
91 consecutive Sundays that I read the tip, or 90, which is the year 1990 was the year I graduated high school, by the way. I mean, they're just showing themselves to me everywhere. And tonight's the first night I didn't read them. I didn't read the tip.
That's okay.
My hat is off to you, Patty. Thank you. My hat's back. My hat's back on. So we we are in Get a Klu in 52. It is a very emotional and raw and vulnerable moment for me. When I am on the weekend, first of all, here's another one, Charlie. Are you ready? And you got this one already. Work
I'm
hard,
ready,
play.
Coach.
Well, you already got this one. Work hard, play hard. One's not worth it without the other.
Yes.
So you cannot say that you know me unless you understand that I work hard and play hard. And that humor is my Trojan horse to getting very serious things across to people. And when I'm the one that's most in need, sometimes it may be hard to deliver. I'm not anywhere as needy now as I was a year ago when they actually passed. And when they're actually going through it, as needy as you are, nobody can help you. A year ago, when you're in it, losing both mom and dad within 3 weeks, nobody can help you. You gotta fortify yourself. And there's people that want to help you and they believe they're helping you, and you want to believe that people are helping you, but you got to look within and you got to figure out what you need to do to be okay with mom and dad passing. Now, that's not the subject of tonight's tip, which hopefully we get back into. but I can't ignore the enormity of the weekend, the enormity of the moment, the enormity of my thoughts this month, because my dad passed 3 weeks ago, 1 year ago. And it's just so ever present and everything is happening for me. Now, I just came, by the way, from an event where I was like at a eatery with a bar and fantasy football, and we're watching we want to be where we watch all the games with a bunch of bros that are we have these surface level distractions. Charlie, write it down, please.
Sure, Coach.
We have these surface level distractions that either relieve or prevent. Ooh.
It's the birth of a Klubi snack.
You got it, Patty. Raw. So raw. Oh, I made it, by the way. Trash cans over there. Made it.
The last part, please, Coach.
You tell me from the top verbatim, and I'll tell you what the rest is. Go ahead.
We have these surface level distractions that either
prevent or propel
propel.
our emotional addictions.
Thank you, Coach.
Say it out loud all together. Let's see if you got it. Please.
We have these surface level distractions that either prevent or propel our emotional attractions.
No.
Addictions.
Thank you.
Pardon, emotional addictions.
Yeah, we have these surface level distractions that either prevent or propel. Prevent or propel. Propel. Like move forward, like wings on an airplane. Propellers. We have these surface level distractions that either prevent or propel our emotional addictions.
Ooh.
It's like, I'm sorry, it may have nothing to do with tonight's tip, but I'll get back to tonight's tip in the book when I need to. But I am operating on the organic, and I'm in flow with the emotional, and my mom and dad are with me right now. Both mom and dad are with me right now. In fact, I had been resisting this for quite a while. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to light the candles that I didn't want to light because nobody wants to acknowledge that their parents are dead, even if you're going through a divorce. I'm not going through a divorce, but I know people that have, and I know that people that are, and I know people that think that going through a divorce might be more important or significant than losing your parents. And I'm here to tell you, it's not. Not that I've ever been through divorce, and I'm never going to go through divorce because till death do us part meant something to me. It's called integrity. So this has nothing to do with the tip of the book. Nothing. It's just me being raw and vulnerable and emotional on a Sunday night with you guys all. I'm lighting candles that I had resisted lighting for the longest time, but tonight's the night. And I just came from somebody, a friend, a guy, and a client, a friend that'll be a friend of mine for life. Client, former client, not a client anymore because he graduated from me. And he's so successful. And anyway, there it is. We're burning now. We're burning. Mom and dad together. They didn't want it. Dad didn't want me to burn his candle alone, and mom didn't want me to burn his candle without her, and she didn't want me to burn her candle without him. So I didn't, and I wouldn't. But tonight on Get a Clue in 52, you're being invited into something very intimate, very core, very special. And if you don't summons that in what you do in life, you're fucking up. If you don't connect with your core, if you don't connect with the why of why you're on the planet and who you chose as a soul coming into this life and who your parents chose as a soul to have, if you're not connecting with all of that, I love you, Patty. I love you. I love you. Love you, Patty. If you're not connecting with what Patty can help you connect with, you're fucking up. Or you're in danger of fucking up. So now my candles are burning because it was a bug.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, it was a BOGO. It was like bury one, get another. I got you. We're in the sales section, Patty.
Of course we are, and I have something to share about that. Okay.
Will you make a note? And be ready to? As a matter of fact, fuck it, fuck me. I don't care. My agenda doesn't matter. Go ahead, Patty. Go.
Okay. Am I still? Yeah, I'm talking. Okay.
Yep, you are.
This woman I know who does sales coaching, she calls sales serving anyone lovingly, effectively, and successfully.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you did with your parents. You served them.
Thank Woo! Thank you for that.
So it is related to this.
Well, everything's related.
Yeah.
We're all one. We're all connected. All right. Without going too far into the deep end, I know Siraj, I see he's not opening up his video, but he's here with us, and he's not opening up his microphone, but he's here, Siraj. And what we're going to ultimately get out of the emotional and into the tactical and practical, we're going to try to give people something useful that they can actually implement in their own life. And my grief is not something that people can implement in their own life other than to make sure you have no regrets. Ask them everything you want to know. Tell them everything you want them to know. Invite them to ask you everything they want to know about you before they're gone. Are you with me, Siraj?
Yes, he says that his ears are open and he's listening. He was eating dinner.
Very cool. All right. Siraj is an icon of my work with Vipul, right? Like Siraj is like one of these early adopters that's getting in right away to what Vipul and I are creating together. And Vipul showed up at the front. He wanted to be here, but he had to bail. All right. Vipul knows Siraj is in good hands. And Siraj, I'm telling you, man, I'm being raw and vulnerable. And if you can't do that, you don't deserve the people that you want to pay you, right? Siraj is a coach. He's a coach in training. He's seeking mentoring and leadership. And Siraj is going to change this world. And I'm going to do everything I can to help him. Everything I can to help him, including being raw and vulnerable as I could possibly be. And that's what I do on Sunday nights with Get a Klu in 52. And tonight, let's go ahead and just make sure we talk about this tip, right? What I failed to do was review the previous tips that led up to tonight's tips. So let's do that real quick. Are you ready? Tip number one in tonight's section of sales. Tip number one in sales is to build rapport. Don't do anything until you build rapport. Just don't do it. Now, we can go deeper on rapport. How do you build rapport? What's superficial rapport versus depthful rapport? What's credible rapport versus incredible rapport? Or non-credible rapport, which is BS. You guys, you've seen it. And that's what gives sales a bad rap. Let me continue. Now, tip number two was diagnose, right? And diagnose, I like to say is like, hey, don't call yourself a doctor because we're not, right? We don't want to invite any regulatory inconveniences. like blowing your nose on a live Zoom. It's a regulatory inconvenience. Charlie, write that down.
Got you, Coach.
A regulatory inconvenience. Boy, am I in love with that all of a sudden. It's a regulatory inconvenience. I have to blow my nose when I'm crying about my parents. Okay, thank you. This is raw and special edition of Get Included 52. Oh my God. This is going to end up being one of my favorites of all time if it goes the way I want it to. And by the way, let me promise everybody right up front, Suraj, you especially, and you for and foremost. When I'm done going over and reviewing the tip tonight, I'm going to shift into Suraj asking me about the power hour. What's the power hour, Jeff? What do you do on Sunday night that sets up your week so much for success? Suraj, I know why you're here, and I promise you, you will get what you came here for. You just got to be patient. Is that okay? Thank you, buddy. All right. So tip number 2 is diagnose, not because we're doctors and we don't want to necessarily use the word diagnose. Maybe we want to use the word discovery. Maybe we want to use the term find out. But what tip number 2 is all about is figuring out what somebody wants, what somebody needs, is what they want the same as what they need, is what they want different from what they need, and do they agree with you or can you agree with them on what they want, what they need, so that they can move forward in a sales process. And we're selling our services, it's still sales, right? Tip number 3 is get leverage. Once there's agreement on what they want or what they need or what they need or what they want or what they want and need or what they want or need or whatever, whether it's either or both, we're in tip 3 now. How bad do they want that? How bad do they want what they want? How bad do they need what they need? That's what tip number 3 is about. Get leverage. What's at stake if they don't? What's waiting for them if they do? You have to get emotional association to the pleasure and pain of doing or not doing what you need to do to get what you want, get what you need. Okay. That's tip number 3. Tip number 4, drop the SME. Drop it. Just lay it down. You are a subject matter expert. I love working with hamsters that want to get off the hamster wheel. But before you jump off the hamster wheel, you have to know what your equity was in the hamster wheel. You have a subject matter expertise. You did something for 10 or more years in your corporation. Yeah, they controlled you. Yeah, it was political. Yeah, people stabbed your back. Yeah, the meetings were ineffective. Yeah, shit rolled downhill. Yeah, people covered their ass. Yeah, people blamed you for shit they did. Yeah. But you learned so much there that now as a consultant, you can be more effective than that bullshit that you want to get out of. I digress. Drop this subject matter expertise. At some point in the sales process, when you built rapport, know what they want, know what they need, forget if they're congruent. Don't worry about that. Just get agreement on either one or the other, and then you drop your subject matter expertise. Can you help them or not? Can you? Can you help them or not? Tip number 5 is know your 1s, 2s, and 3s, right? A 1 is a buyer, no concerns, credit card in hand, been searching for it forever, believe in you, love you, want to buy from you. You better have a VIP package ready for that person. Number 2 is a potential buyer. They might buy, they think, they see some benefits to it, but there's a but. The job for them is to identify all the reasons why they're not moving forward, address all this concern, get them just to move forward even like an inch, because an inch will lead to half an inch will lead to a foot, on and on and on. Point is, small steps lead to bigger steps, but you can't get anybody to take a step unless you address their concerns. You cannot. Charlie,
Coach. I'm here.
Write it down.
Ready?
According to Coach Kluby,
Kluby snack.
it's your problem if you expect people to move forward without addressing their concerns. It's not their problem, it's yours. You with me? If you expect somebody to move forward without addressing all your concerns, you're the idiot. More bluntly. You have to identify, you have to do the work of identifying all their concerns, and then you have to address all their concerns. And if you don't identify and address all their concerns, and you still expect them to move forward, you're the idiot. I mean, you're the salesy guy. When I say sales on the front of this book, I don't mean salesy. I mean professional sales. I mean the work of sales. I mean the ethics of sales. And you have to know who somebody is. You have to know what they want and need. You have to get agreement on the want and the need. You have to agreement on what of the want and the need that you're going to work on. You have to identify all the concerns, address all the concerns if you expect them to move forward at all. If there are no concerns, sell them as much as you got. That will still make sense for them. If they have concerns, sell them the tiniest little thing that will move them forward to the next thing. Even if it's just, yes, you can call me back in 6 months to see how I'm doing. Let me be clear about this. Yes, you can call me back in 6 months to see how I'm doing. Yes, you can call me back 6 months from now to see how I'm doing. Now, shit salespeople will say, thank you very much, and get off the phone and move on to the next jam. Professional salespeople will set an appointment in their calendar for 6 months from now and get a reminder that shows up on their phone, their calendar, they're everywhere else, to call this person and say, hey, guess what? And you get to call them, you get to say, guess what? Guess what you get to say? You get to say, you asked me to call you in 6 months, and I am doing what you asked me to do, which is what you can expect from me when you hire me. Are you ready to move forward? Thank you. All right. It's a little subtle review of tip number. Oh, I don't even talk about the threes. Just get off the phone or get out of the conversation as soon as you can. You can do it with the diplomacy and set them up to maybe they're a two, but a lot of people are walking around as threes disguised as twos, but we know that threes are never going to buy from you. So if you, the biggest mistake that salespeople make is trying to convince a three to be a two or a one. Are we clear on that? Tip number 6, develop multiple calls to action, because everybody's at a different stage in their life. Everybody's at a different price point. Everybody's at a different level in their personal and professional growth. In my world, what is it in your world? You know, you don't have to be in personal and professional growth to pick up what I'm putting down. Are you with me? I want a $9 product, a $19 product, a $29 product, a $49 product, a $99 product, a $79 product, or $190. I want products at as many different price points so that when I'm done with the 2 comp sessions and to figure out what somebody needs, if they can't afford to hire me one-on-one, or if they can't afford to hire one of my coaches, or they can't afford to get in my group mentoring, or they can't afford to pay the full price for my $499 course, maybe they can pay $19 for a goal-setting course and change their lives. Yeah, I just heard the pin drop. I'll move on. Tip number 7. That's tonight. Hey, we made it. We got through. Oh my God, the enormity of my emotions about my parents. The candles are burning. God bless them. Oh, well, one of them is. Hang on. I think the wind got to my dad's candle because my mom doesn't want him to burn as brightly as she does. I just know that. That's just it's funny because it's the truth. Right. So let me I mean, I just don't feel like you can read tonight's tip without my dad's candle burning. All right, there we go. Now they're both. All right, you guys are with me. You understand how special tonight is? Do you guys understand? And by the way, Charlie and Patty, you've been with me every step. Well, most steps in the way. Every now and then, one of you's not here, and the other one is, and the other one isn't there, but the other one is, and it's amazing to me that 52 plus 39 equals 91. 91? 91? 52 plus 30, 91?
Correct. Correct, Coach.
Yeah. 91 happens to be the year that my wife graduated high school. I graduated in 90. I'm a 90, she's a 91. There's numerology, there's always meaning in the numbers. Right, Patty? Always meaning in the numbers. Anyway. All right. So the candles are lit and the tips have been reviewed. And I'm going to go ahead, Patty, as beautifully as you did. I'm motivated to do it again. Ready?
That's all right. There's nothing wrong with hearing it twice.
Oh, no. Like drive through, make sure to get it right. And not that you did anything wrong, because oh my God, I could have left it there and just like ended this session. It would have been so beautiful. But my rawness demands more time. Tip number 7, keep it simple, salesperson. Because many people have heard that as keep it simple, stupid, right? Keep it simple, stupid, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. And I won't say that. I'll say keep it simple, salesperson, because we always have to vibrate in a positive way. So why would we ever put the word stupid into our sales process? That's one thing I hope every sales trainer in the world gets, because most sales trainers teach KISS, keep it simple, stupid, but they say stupid, and I'm turned off right away if you use that word. So I say keep it simple, salesperson. All right. What you need to understand here is that a confused mind will not buy. Confusion is one of the strongest barriers to moving forward with a purchase/investment. Well, it is one of the easiest concerns to avoid in the first place. If you can practice never saying anything that might confuse the buyer, then they will never be confused. A common mistake that bad salespeople make is taking oneself out of a sale by continuing to share information that has not been requested by the prospect. That deserves focus. I'm bailing for the one. By continuing to share information that has not been requested by the prospect. Please avoid that. Please avoid that. The bad salesperson is trying to earn the right to ask for the sale by showing you everything, going over all the bells, whistles, features, etc. They run the risk of boring or confusing you. Oh, Charlie, there's a clue mistake right there. Are you a salesperson that runs the risk of boring or confusing your customers? Are you the salesperson that runs the risk of boring or confusing your prospects? You got it? Got it, Charlie?
Yes, sir.
Yeah? Okay. Ask me if at the end if there's anything that you need me to help you with or supplement or re-articulate. Going over all the bells, whistles, features, formulas, process, story, drama, etc. They run the risk of boring or confusing you with the information that may not be of interest to you. Whereas you must make your knowledge of your stuff work for you in a sales presentation, you must also avoid the curse of knowledge. which is when you have actually forgotten what it is like not to know what you know. I'm not even reading word for word because you squeeze my head, it'll come out my ears. Thank you, Patty. Forgetting what it is really like not to know what you know. Now, without going back to the book and word for word, I'll get back to this in a second. You know what the results of that are without over elaborating. Let me go ahead and continue with the word for word read. Whereas you must make your knowledge or curse of knowledge, here it is. When that happens, curse of knowledge, when that happens, you might be explaining things in terms the prospect doesn't understand. But now you have taken for granted because of your expertise. By the way, real quick, before I even read any further, can I tell everybody just real quick, I'm guilty of this every day. It happened to me tonight. I'm hanging out with a former client who's now a friend who's going through a divorce. He invites me to watch football over beers at a social environment and wants to talk about his divorce. I'm like, I have the curse of knowledge. Not that I've ever been divorced, but I celebrated a 20-year wedding anniversary with my wife a week and a half ago, and I got 3 beautiful kids. And right. So like you forget what it's like not to know. And I know so much about what it takes to keep a relationship together that deserves to be kept together. I also know so much about dissolving a relationship that had no business to being together in the first place. And sometimes there's a little gray area there. Tough conversation, especially during beers and food and fantasy football, tons of people around. You just can't get to the depth of it. You can't get to, it's a safe place for the person that's going through it because there's all kinds of distractions that can cut off the pain. But when you get in there and you say, hey, man, I'm talking a little bit too much about this, and we all came here, and when are you going to ask us about us? But the person going through a divorce is incapable of that. You understand? So everybody there needs to be there for that person 100%. They also have to find a way to let that person know they got broccoli in their teeth. They don't have to get it out right now, but they may have to get it out sometime. Are you guys with me? Curse of knowledge. You forget. You're so familiar with what you're going through that you forget what it's like not to know. And so therefore you're communicating and you expect everybody to jump to your land of expertise, but you haven't given anybody a path to the sea of understanding. We have to dock that boat and get off that ship. I can't jump from the boat to the land. You have to bring me in, dock me, and deboard me. And people skip over that. You guys understand what I'm getting at? When we talk about the curse of knowledge, we're so familiar with what we're going through. We're so familiar with what we want, so familiar with what our stuff is that we forget what it's like not to know. And then when we're pitching and we're trying to sell, we're selling autobiographically when it's my opinion that we need to sell biographically. I can write my story all day long. What I need to do in order to make effective sales is write Suraj's story. And then, Suraj, interrupt me anytime you want. He's a hotelier that knows that he's born into hotelier stuff. And he knows that if dad passes away, he's going to be full-time hotelier. But right now, while he's got the opportunity, he knows he's a coach and a leader and a motivator and a speaker. And he's got messages. He learned so much from his parents. He's so grateful for them. Not for the stuff that's granted. He's going to get what they built when they pass, but the stuff that can't be taken for granted, which is how to earn what they're giving to him. So Suraj, what you're learning from your parents, and cut me off anytime you want, is how to earn stuff to give to the kids, how to build legacy, how to build, and you are on this tangent journey right now to become a coach, speaker, leader, motivator, the best of you, and then you're going to bring that back into the empire, and a 1 + 1 will equal a million, right? When you go out and get skilled and come back and bring it into the legacy with personal and professional growth is, oh my God, like gorgeous, brilliant. And Suraj, you haven't interrupted me yet because perhaps I haven't misspoken.
No, Jeff, I definitely agree with what you have to say. Jeff,
Hey.
honestly, I agree with what you have to say. I'm looking forward to my path, and I will see where it goes from there. But I don't know what the future holds, as none of us do.
None of us do. I have a joke about that I'll tell you offline. But let me get through the second reading of tonight's tip, and then I'll open it up for like this dynamic. We're set up for a really beautiful dynamic after I read all of the word for word, and I've got one paragraph to go. Practice only sharing information that the customer has asked for and asking check-in questions, such as, did that answer your question? Everybody repeat it after me. It just feels so good. Did that answer your question?
Did that answer your question?
Did that answer your question?
Suraj?
Did that answer your question?
Did that answer your question? Oh, isn't it wonderful? Thank you. All right, back to the word for word. Or repeat after me. Does that make sense to you?
Does that make sense to you?
Does that make sense to you?
Oh, makes sense to me. Thank you for asking, all three of you. Or, quote, would you like me to elaborate or explain any further? Or did you have another question I can answer?
Would you like to me elaborate or explain any further? Or did you have any other question I could answer?
Go ahead, Patty.
No, I said it.
You read it, yeah, Suraj?
Would you like for me to elaborate any further, or do you have any more questions for me?
Do I need to elaborate any further, or do you have any other questions for me? I'm going off script right now, but check this out. You guys ready? Is there anything that you want to share with me or ask me?
I like that one.
Did you say
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's an emotional reaction to the power that what I just said was felt within you. Thank you so much for that, Patty. Do you have any other questions? Or what did I say?
Do you have any other questions or anything you want to share with me?
Yeah. And by the way, go back to the candles. Let me be raw and vulnerable. It's sales, right? We're in Get a Clue in 52. We're in section number 4, sales. We're in the 7th tip of the sales, 39th overall. So number 7 in sales, number 39 overall, and we're moving our way towards accountability. And we started off tonight by paying respect to my parents and you guys tolerating my vulnerability and my raw emotion and the tears and everything else. Patty, I can't love you enough for like reading. Like, I'll read it word for word, Jeff, if you can't. I'm recovered from that now. You guys know that.
We can tell.
Thank you. I mean, but I thank you for that, Patty. You were the bridge. You got me there. Thank you. And now, what I want to really make sure you guys understand is that where's that born from? A client of mine asked me one time, like, oh, I love my dad so much. I love my mom so much. And we're getting old. I'm getting older. They're getting older. And I'm afraid. You guys understand? And as a coach, I gave him the advice that ultimately I had to apply to myself. And my parents, both of them passed before either of his passed. So what I'm telling you right now, it's in the sales section right here, right? But this is life. Is there anything else you want me to know? Is there anything else you want to ask me? Is there anything else I should be asking you? Open the doors for all of the floodgates of communication to flow. Charlie, write it down.
Got you, coach. Open the doors.
Open the floodgates for all communication to flow. And the flow is not like a river rolling one direction. Flow is a back and forth in this case when we're talking about parents and losing loved ones. You know, my coaching for somebody dealing with loss. Make sure you've told them everything you want to tell them. Make sure you've asked them everything you want to ask them. Make sure they get to ask you everything that they want to ask you, and make sure you tell them everything they want to know. And then when they pass, there'll be no regrets. Ask them everything you want to ask them. Tell them everything they want to know. Let them ask you everything they want to know from you. Tell them it. You guys with me? It's a simple frame for dealing with loss. There's an inherent pain in loss that we cannot avoid. But we can minimize the loss. We can minimize the grieving. We can hedge our bets if we know that we've told them everything we want them to know, if we've heard everything they want them to tell us, if we've asked them everything that we're curious about, and let them ask us everything they're curious about. Now, on the asking, I ask them, they ask me. That doesn't mean we have to come up with good answers, but just get it out. Get it out, especially in the COVID area. Golly, nobody knows when somebody might go.
Right.
So right now, run, don't walk. Run, don't walk, to asking what you want to know, sharing what you want to share, receiving the questions that you may have avoided asking, but be the bigger person, be the person committed to growth, and share what you need to share before they go. That's what I got for you tonight. Again, A Klu in 52. I think I have a little more word for word reading before I open it up to just a random dynamic. Let me get to the page because I put it down, right? Keep it simple, salesperson. Would you like me to elaborate or explain any further? Or did you have any questions I need to answer? That's what triggered it, right? You guys have the book, okay? Keeping it simple and matching the knowledge pace. Ooh. Ooh. I see Charlie. Do you see him? He's writing feverishly. Look, keeping
He's
it.
gonna come out with the book, the 52 Kubi Snacks.
Oh, it's going to be co-authored. It's going to be Jeff Klubeck and Charlie. It's going to be co-authored. It's me. If he's doing the work to write it all down and to put it in all we need to do is format it and upload it. Charlie, we're co-authoring the experience, aren't we?
You're muted.
I just missed my screen. Sorry. Yes, Coach Jeff, and thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
All the way from South Africa. Monday morning for you.
5:59 now. We start at 5.
You're so technical. I love it. All right. Keeping it simple and it's in italics in the book. Matching the knowledge pace. That is something you've never heard before anywhere in your life, but you heard it here. And I want you to, matching the knowledge pace of the prospect will definitely lead to an increase in sales. Suraj, I'm inviting you to open up and speak freely. Did I match your knowledge pace.
Yeah, I believe you did. And then you also showed your additional knowledge to the subject as well.
Thank you for that validation. I see you just dipping toes into the water, and I'm not going to ask you to do anything else unless you want to speak freely right now. Otherwise, I'm going to open it up to Charlie and Patty.
No, I feel comfortable where I'm at now. I appreciate the opportunity, though.
All right. So to reset at 9:00 p.m., 1 hour into it, thank you guys for tolerating my emotional outpouring about the 1 year anniversary of losing my mom, which is 3 weeks and 55 weeks from losing my dad. BOGO, bury one, get one. I joke. I'm joking. Patty, I just wanted to see your face. You're like, hey, why bury one when you get married two? 3 weeks. It was a gift. Thank you, Lord. Yeah, and they're together now, which is neither of them ever wanted to spend a minute without each other. And they only had to spend 3 weeks. And I'm so grateful. I'm so fortunate for the way that God showed me my role in it. And I ushered it and I made it happen. And that's our job. If you want to call yourself a leader, you better embrace all the difficulty of that and lead. And thank you for all of that. I'm going to shut up now and open it up to Patty and or Charlie. Ladies first. Patty?
It's so important to remember that your prospect doesn't necessarily know the words you're using.
Right. Oh, yes.
Or to check even, they may know the words, but they may have a different understanding.
Are you telling me that if I told you that I want to listen carefully to your diction choices and pay attention to the emotional addiction that those language choices are attached to, and then replace those emotional addictions with empowering alternatives, and then condition them to a point of transformation, I instead of should just say I could do a checkup from the neck up? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I was meaning that you could say accountability to someone, right?
Ooh, great example.
They might not have a clue what that means.
What? They might not have a what?
Not have a clue what that means.
All right. And let me say this. Charlie, are you ready?
I'm always ready to write down, Coach.
Ready? Accountability
Yes,
will here it is, Kluby Snack. Accountability will always feel like an attack when you're not ready to be responsible for your behavior.
Ooh, I like that one. Did you guys have this one that you mentioned that I have?
We'll get to that in a second. Let's let that first one seep in, especially because you had such a ooh for us. So that means that we have to give the ooh its proper time.
Okay, so
Charlie, repeat it to me.
Accountability will always feel like an attack when you're not ready to take accountability.
No,
responsibility.
All right, you got the first part right. Let's calibrate. Charlie's going to send me a text in an hour and say, "Is this right?" And let's get it right now. Right now, Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
Accountability will always feel like an attack.
Mm-hmm.
When you have to include yourself in the quote to make yourself vulnerable.
Yeah.
You can't say you. You can't say you because people resist that. Say accountability will always feel like an attack when we are not ready to be responsible for our behavior. Accountability is just willing to count. Accountability isn't judgment. Accountability isn't good or bad. It's 1 or 2, 10 or 20, 0 or 1, 1 hour or 4 hours. Good or you understand what I'm getting at? Do I need to elaborate? Charlie, I'm listening. Go ahead. Say it again.
Accountability will always feel like an attack when we are not ready to be responsible for our behavior.
Yeah, and you reading it word for word, and it's still like it's hard to say because as soon as you say it, you have to look within it your own behavior.
Yeah.
Charlie, this is one of the greatest lessons I could ever give to you. Are you with me?
Yes, Coach?
Okay, thank you. Patty, anything else? Oh, God, genius tonight. Anything else?
I had a Klubi snack from Klu's Ooze, and I didn't know if you'd ever talked about it. Countability is the objectivity of productivity.
Woo! Oh, God, so good. Charlie, you got that? Accountability is the objectivity of productivity, not the subjectivity of productivity. So now, all right, so let me elaborate, right? So here's what it is. Are you guys ready? Here's like random notes I take. You got I love for Siraj, this is for you. Embrace the metaphor of continuum. It's going to be so helpful for you when you're coaching people. Okay. And a continuum is simply 100% of one thing at one end, 100% of another thing at the other end, and like a midpoint, 0. You guys with me? Watch this. Ready? Black, white, gray. Male, female, androgynous. We don't know how people are identifying themselves these days. And, I'm not going to try to figure it out until it figures itself out. Anyway, are you guys with me? Patty, restate your thing. What was it that you brought up?
Accountability is the objectivity of productivity.
All right. So we got objectivity over here, which is, hey, listen, I don't care how you feel about it. Is the sun going to rise tomorrow? Yes or no?
Yes.
It's a yes or no. Are you pissed that you live in Chicago instead of San Diego? Yeah, I got you. Yes. Yeah, say yes.
Yes.
Thank you. That was just a nod to my San Diegans. Thank you. It's not necessarily the truth because it is subjective. Subjective is what is totally debatable, what anybody can disagree with. Objective is what nobody, if I let go of this pen, will it fall? Yeah, every fucking time, right? That's subjective. But is the sunrise a good thing or a bad thing? It depends. Are you a darkness person? Are you a light person? Do you like to sleep in? Are you a night owl? Do you work graveyard? You can't say one is, you understand? Am I giving you a good enough metaphor?
Yes.
Okay. Reread it again from the book or from the Klubi Snack notes.
Accountability is the objectivity of production.
Yeah. So if you put right here, production, right, at the top, right, this is a continuum of production. Accountability is over here in objective. One is one. Right? Right? We can count, right? We can count. Somebody can say, "Oh, I want to join Get a Klu in 52." Oh, great book. Oh, I love your style. Oh, I love the kid. Oh, I can't wait to be with you Sunday night. Oh, hey, yeah, I want to be your guest. There's somebody I met recently and said, "Yeah, I want to be a guest on your show. I'll get you all the information that you need tonight." And she didn't. You guys with me?
Mm-hmm.
Without going on a tangent, objective is the truth that no opinion can deny. What's beautiful about this is that despite the like sun rising and gravity, despite the fact that Biden got elected, people still think Trump is the president. I'll say it. Objectivity or subjectivity. And the people say, no, you're being subjective. Why? Because never mind. I'm not going to go down a political rabbit hole.
Right.
Biden is the president. I'm sorry.
That's over there on the objective.
That's objective, isn't it? Isn't it objective? But people cling to the subjective, their opinions, and then they want to project it as their truth.
Right.
Now, this is not a class on critical thinking. But what the hell else are we doing unless we get a Klu in 52 except for critically thinking about sales, marketing, communication, accountability, and networking? Not in that order. In the second edition of the book is communication, then marketing, then networking, now sales, and we're moving towards accountability. I'm planting all kinds of seeds of accountability. I'm going to hold you accountable to your objectivity versus your subjectivity. All right, I digress. Patty, you've been brilliant so far. Anything else from you before I defer to Charlie?
No, it's definitely Charlie's turn.
Most definitely. And that may be subjective, but it's true. Okay, go ahead, Charlie.
Oh, Coach Jeff, my plate is full of Kirby snacks.
What? Say it again.
My plate is full of Kluby snacks tonight.
And my belly feels full too, even though I was the one serving them up.
Whoa. It's like, firstly, I'd like to say, may your parents' souls rest in peace and continuously shine upon you. And may their spirits be amongst us all the time. May they rest in peace and rise in glory.
Right near the icon of greatness, one icon of greatness in my life is my relationship with Shaquille O'Neal. Other icons of greatness in my life are my 3 beautiful children and my master's degree. But your comments will be forwarded to my wife, Marianne, which is the ultimate greatness of my life. Continue, Charlie. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. There's so many nuggets that are going, and as you know, I've been scribbling frantically, which is one thing that I love to do, is take notes as well.
I love that word, frantically.
And I probably, usually I rewatch the episode immediately after so that I can recap on my notes and get more clarity, get more wisdom, because I'm listening and writing at the same time. And unfortunately, it's maybe a blessing for me that I kind of stay focused on what is being said and done, and then I'll lose the bit that is past.
It's not easy. It's not easy hanging out with me, is it?
Oh, well, it's fun. Might not be easy, but it's fun. There's a lot of learning and different perspectives that you get. Hence, I call it my Monday morning mind feed for the week. It actually keeps me going and focused on the directions that I am wanting to go and to achieve. And what purpose do I want to serve? The biggest takeaway here is the tip of today, which is keeping it simple. We all know, being in this space, the big problem is getting the knowledge and the guidance, and the salesperson wants to sell you something. You tend to be picking up that, dude, you're having commission break. So you need to train yourself to hold yourself back into you doing it wrong. It's something that I've kind of trained myself into not getting to impose without permission. Again, part of the accountability part of it as well is holding, where are you within yourself, and do you have that permission to hold the other person accountable?
Charlie, I'm going to jump in and ask if you have a specific and pointed question for me. Otherwise, what I really want to do is listen. I made a promise, and I have to keep it to Siraj, that I would go over the power hour with him.
No
And
problem.
if-
I was just commenting on.
So
I
if
was
you have
just
it-
commenting on the session today and
Okay.
what the
Well,
takeaways
listen,
were.
you have the space to continue commenting. I want you to know while you're doing that I have a promise to keep to Siraj, who's
No.
joined us to learn about power hour.
Actually like to hear from Suraj as well, and
Well,
also welcome him as well.
And by
to Unity.
Thank you, Charlie.
and I'm gonna go ahead and just playfully estimate I got about 7.5 to 9 minutes before I have to pee.
Let's get this party started.
All right. Are you guys ready? I'm gonna do power hour. This is for you, Siraj. Charlie, are you all right with this?
I'm good, Coach Jeff.
All right. Siraj, are you with me? I promised you this. I got to deliver it and make sure we get this done, right?
I'm ready,
As a
yes.
matter of integrity. All right. So I'm going to give you an example, and I'm going to be vulnerable right now. I'm not broadcasting this to Facebook, so I think I'm all right with that. But I'm going to screen share. Are you ready with me? This is just a week I chose. You got right. So this is September 6, 7, 8, 9. You guys see it? Do you guys see my calendar?
Yes.
Yes, Coach.
All right. So first of all, you see on Monday, Labor Day, there's nothing here. You see it? Nothing on Monday, September 6th. That was in the past, right? But look at the rest of my calendar. I got stuff filled up, right? So here we go. Power hour. Siraj, are you with me?
Yes.
Do you see the view, the 20,000 feet elevation view that I have of my week right now?
Mhm.
Right? So I got, look, Vipul and Joey right here overlapped with what? Gupta, that's AJ Gupta. Daily wins. What does that mean? Daily wins. That means I'm going to do the things that I emailed my coach that I need to do in order to win my day. It's
Mhm.
appointment with myself. Because the power hour is the mountain, but the daily winds are the pebbles that fall off of it. And I can get into that in a minute. But see, there's Vuong and there's Cluzes. Do you see what's going on here? The blue is stuff that's family related that my wife needs to know about also. But anything green is just, do you see what I'm doing? You guys with me?
Mhm.
And now I get to spend an hour tonight if this were my week, right? If let's just say that this week was my next week moving forward, right? I'd be like, all right, look, I got all this open space right here. Do you see it? All this open space. So I'm going to make appointments with and stuff to get stuff done here. And then I can say, wait a second, Jeff time or drive to what? Drive to Jim's. Who's Jim? You don't need to know. Here, well, now you know. Jim at night, you know, right? It's MHM. And then there's a follow-up to that, right? And there's this and there's that. And so I get to look at the whole week, right? But what I really get to do, and by the way, I'm gonna stop screen sharing now that I have screen shared, and I'm just gonna talk with you guys. And I'm gonna talk with you guys keeping my microphone open, but not my video. And so my point is this: you guys got to understand. When I go up to 20,000 feet elevation, I look down at my week the way that I just showed you guys. What I can do is I can ask myself, what's in place? What's there? And is that the highest and best use of my time? What I can do is I can renegotiate on a Sunday night. For example, if I look at my week, any of those things that I just showed you guys, when I'm looking at it, I can say, wait, what are the goals in my life? What are the 3 most important things I'm trying to achieve? What do I now have to achieve in order to get there? And now I can look at my week and see the appointments that people set with me. I can see what I set with myself. And then in a power hour, it only takes 60 minutes to ask myself, is that the right appointment at the right time for me? Should I keep that appointment or should I ask that person to reschedule? Can I move that appointment to a better and more productive space for me? Am I working with paper? Am I working with people? I'll pause for a second and ask if there are any questions.
I have none because that's what I do.
Okay, great. So what I'm getting at is like, Suraj, you, and I want anybody that ever watches a recording of this to know that Suraj is one of the most brilliant people I've ever met in my life. And I don't even know him as well as I need to in order to help him.
Thank you, Jeff.
But what I know of him already is he's passionate, he's determined, he's proactive, he's educated, he's supported. He's got a beautiful, and Suraj, if you don't give gratitude to this every day of your life, you're screwing up. He's got a beautiful support mechanism where he's in good shape overall. But what I love about him most is you'll just rely on that, take it for granted, and be an idiot about it. He wants to actualize himself and then bring an actualized self into whatever he inherits in order to make it better and to give legacy and to make, like, he looks up to a guy like Vipul who did that. Vipul inherited a lot of stuff, but he's making it so much better. And if you inherit stuff, most people that inherit stuff waste it. But guys like Suraj and Vipul and other people that I want to be associated with take what they're given, the gifts that they're given. Like I have, my parents, they didn't do shit, but they had the gift of love. And boy, do I try to share that with each and every one of you. Are you with me?
Yes.
Right. So my point is back to the power hour, the strategy of a power hour, and the compliment that I was giving Suraj, Patty, Charlie, and anybody else that's listening. I said, here's your homework, Suraj. And without having to follow up with him, he submitted it to me by email. He did it. And then you know what else he did? He did it again. He proofread his own stuff after he submitted it. And he says, hey, I looked at my stuff and I wasn't happy, so let me give you more. And this guy is so self-motivated, so self-directed. It's just going to be hot knife through warm butter, getting him where he wants to go. Like he's bringing all the goods to the table, and it's a very special deal. And that's why he's here tonight. Suraj, my hat is off to you. I love you, brother.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah. So what you want to do every Sunday night is like I'm going to use you as the example now. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. So now to the exclusion of all other things, what the three things that are most important for you to achieve in the next 3 months. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So now you know what to say yes to and what to say no to. And now when you look at your weekly calendar from a 20,000 feet elevation with supreme knowledge of the three most important things in your life to the exclusion of number 4, number 12, number 87, and number 500,050, blah, 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 which most people waste their lives with, is like the 1,000th most thing important in their life, to ignore the top 3 things that are the most important thing in their life. Are you with me, Suraj?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. Now you can look at your calendar and compare it to those 3 things. And if anything in your calendar doesn't jive with those 3 things, you get to reach out and say, hey, guess what? I see we're on the calendar and I love you and I want to help you, but you want to know what? I've got this thing I'm working on. And because you love me too, you're going to appreciate that I'm asking you to reschedule us to 2 weeks from now to give me the time that I need to get the things that are most important in my life done. And because you love me, you respect that. Yes or no?
I'm picking up what you're putting down, Jeff.
You're smelling what I'm cooking? You're reading what I'm spelling?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I don't need to elaborate further then, do I?
I don't believe so. It definitely gives me an idea. I get what to do.
All right, now write this down. Are you ready?
Yes.
And I'm going to be fun. Okay? Because remember that you put your right foot in, you let your right foot out and shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey, you turn it all around, or the knee bone's connected to the thigh bone, and the thigh bone's connected to the hip bone, and the hip. All right, I want you to hear what I'm saying with this rhythm. Are you ready? The goal is connected to the strategy, and the strategy is connected to the tactics, and the tactics are easier with the resources, and the resources are fueled by the calendaring, and the calendaring requires next observable actions, and the next observable actions are appointments with self, and the appointments with self become accountabilities. And if nobody's asking you what the hell you're doing, none of what I just said makes a damn bit of difference. Because everybody's lying to themselves, unless you're held accountable. Did you get all that?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any questions? I mean, when I say you, I don't just mean you, Suraj. I mean, you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Patty, Charlie?
No, coach. No.
I like that little song. Do you know
Well,
you're
the
not
song,
on
the
camera
song. Yeah, go ahead, Patty. Go ahead.
You know you're not on camera anymore?
I do know that I'm not on camera anymore. And do you know why I'm not on camera anymore?
No.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, Charlie, do you know why I'm not on camera anymore?
Uh-huh.
Oh, are you kidding? Okay.
Yeah. I just went to the bathroom and still kept the show
Yes,
moving.
bathroom.
That's the definition of professional. The show must go on.
Got it.
The show must go on. That's one informal definition of what it means to be a professional. Like accountability, integrity, the show must go on. And if you're not prepared to make sure the show goes on no matter what, then you're out of integrity. Hey, and I wash my hands and everything.
I think this could be the longest clue or whatever we call this.
No, it's competing. I won't say it's the longest, but it's competing with the longest for sure. And that's partly
I have an early call tomorrow morning, so I'm just.
Well, then ask me anything you want. Watch this. Before you dismiss yourself, is there anything else you want to ask me? Is there anything else you want to share with us? Is there anything else you want me to ask you? Is there anything else you want me to share with you? Boom, 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 boom. You guys understand that? Anything else you want to ask me? Anything else you want to share? Anything else you want me to ask you? Anything else you want? Do you understand how complete that is, Patty? Before you just and you're free to go.
No, I'm not going to leave till we're done. But
oh,
no, I'm just complaining. No.
It's like asking someone to stop eating while, before they are full. Before they've had enough.
I'm just filled with gratitude. Thank you. Right? That's just like, wow. Suraj, listen, Suraj, you emailed Vipul and myself about Power Hour. Is there anything else I can do tonight to scratch that itch that you have about Power Hour? Do you think I've done enough tonight to fulfill my promise, scratch your itch, and be true to what you've invested in?
No, I think that I got what I needed out of it.
Okay, that was a commitment of mine. That was my word, and I want to be true to that. Then there's a lot of other stuff going on. Thank you for your patience with me these 90 minutes, or I'm sorry, 88 minutes. Patty, thank you. I love watching you smile and laugh, Patty. It's my favorite thing in the world. Patty, Charlie, Suraj, do you guys have anything else that you want to ask me, want to tell me, want me to ask you or share with you?
No, that'll do it, Jeff. Appreciate the time.
All right. You're all dismissed, and I can't thank you enough. This is another installment of Get a Clue in 52. Sunday night, feeling all right. The smile makes everything else out of sight. And then we have to deal with the realities. And we're all in it together. And you could approach me anytime. Any of you, whether you're live tonight with me or whether you're watching a recording of this in the future, I am approachable to help you through your toughest shit. The hardest, most difficult stuff. I'm here to help you. And I'm here to help you with the easy stuff too. Don't make it harder on yourself. Let's go. Everybody ready to see it with a kiss? Here we go. Shazam! Mwah! I love you guys so much. Thank you for another installment of Get a Clue in 52. I love you guys so much. Thank you.
Have a
Love you
great,
too,
Good night.
everyone. Have a great week and have a great day.
all right, thanks.
Thank you. You all as well.
Thank you guys so much. Love you, Mom. Love you, Dad.